Have we just flat out taken Sam Levitt being good at LSU for granted, or is Lane Kiffin right in his assessment that it's easier to transition and there's a little bit of Jaxson Dart in Sam Levitt? Let's discuss that and something about what his teammates said that kind of piqued my interest after the bumper. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, consider joining the more than 216,000 subscribers to Adapt and Respond, a college football podcast. We also are on Apple and Spotify with video if you so choose. And in this segment, I wanted to talk about Sam Levitt, who I think we've already penciled in as one of the 5 best quarterbacks in college football in 2026. And those other quarterbacks include Trinidad Chambliss, Julian Sayin, Dante Moore, Arch Manning. That's for me, right? We could have another discussion about where some others fit in there, but generally people are around there. If you think that some of those guys are in the top 10 and not the top 5, that's okay. You probably got Sam Levitt in the top 10. But I'm asking this sincerely. Should we? Based on a couple of things. One, he's coming back from injury. 2, Arizona State wasn't outstanding last year, but they were good when he was on the football field compared to 2024 when they felt like a world beater, right? And Sam Levitt was the reason they were winning football games until Cam Scatterboo found out what it was. And then, Jordan Dyson was also a monster. It was really outstanding to watch them play. Now, the other thing that I think is interesting about this discussion around LSU and Sam Levitt is the transition to a new offense at a new place. It took some other quarterbacks a little bit. Others, like Carson Beck, hit the ground running, right? Took that team straight to the national championship game. And I think if you're banking on his athleticism and his ability in as far as his experience, then yeah, we're probably right to take him for granted in that way. I mean, even Lane Kiffin, who I do trust when it comes to talking about offenses and quarterbacks, believes that it's easier to do now because you've got a generation now that is going to grow up with in-helmet communication, which is going to make the calls simpler and easier to understand. You even got a coach that's going, here's the play call. Here's where I want you to go with the football, right? That makes all the difference in the world, as opposed to someone saying run 4 verts. No, we're running 4 verts out of this formation so you can isolate this guy on this defender. That is your first look. And it might be different than the way that the play is normally drawn up through progressions because you see a matchup and you want to exploit it. Maybe not. I also think that there is a really interesting note to this with Brendan Sorsby and Sam Levitt, because Brendan Sorsby could have just as easily been at LSU, except he, decided to take the bag that was in front of him, and then LSU gets to absolutely dodge a bullet because they really wanted Brendan Sorsby and thought he could help him. I mean, Sam Levitt, I think, is 3rd on their list of quarterbacks they wanted, from Brendan Sorsby to Damon Williams to him. But we're also talking about a guy who has flashed really great speed. I mean, you don't see too many quarterbacks that can move like he can move. I mean, talking guys that top 21 miles an hour when they're running, Trinidad Chambliss, Arch Manning, and him off the rip. But the thing that piqued me was that Lane Kiffin compared Sam Levitt to Jaxson Dart in this way, saying, I kind of feel like there's some Jaxson in there. He's probably actually faster, but that's the most similar that I've seen with him, throwing with everything, just kind of working with him and watching him and trying to figure out, like, oh, what are we going to look like and how are we going to design it? Because I think Lane Kiffin saw something in Sam Levitt that he was later able to assess in Trinidad Chambliss. Having a guy that can also go get you 100 yards on the ground just from moving around, keeping plays alive, is a step above having a guy like Jaxson Dart who could make all the throws that you needed in your offense. It adds another dimension to your offense that quite literally was the difference between playing in the college football playoff and not. Whereas Austin Simmons probably has a lot more in common with Jaxson Dart than Sam Levitt. I think that Lane has figured out what many coaches have figured out. I want to have a guy back there that can move. I want a guy back there that it gives me +1 in every play that we run. A dude that can outrun most of the people that are chasing him. And if the defense is right, he can make them wrong. Meaning little things, right? In man coverage, generally speaking, defenders are going to turn their back when routes are run downfield. That's open space for a quarterback to exploit, pick it up quickly, slide, right? And then you can catch them in other spaces if you are that good passing the football. And I think Sam Levit is good passing the football. There's also this part of really great quarterback play that we've seen at LSU year over year since basically 2018, right, with Joe Burrow, where you've seen Joe Burrow come through there. You've seen Jaden Daniels come through there. Garrett Nussmeier didn't have the year that you wanted last year, but he's a good quarterback. And now you have a Sam Levit, and you've had guys that have been able to see most of those dudes play football. This is why I think Whit Weeks calling Sam Levit a baller is also important, because you know, one of the things that stuck out to me about the 2019 LSU Tigers is that the defense thought that Joe Burrow was that dude too. And that's not an easy win, right? The defense generally thinks that they can whoop the offense's ass anytime they want, especially if they think they got the quarterback dialed. But if you think you got one of them ones over there, then you feel really good about playing against other people. So Whit Weeks said this. He said, I've seen a lot of great quarterbacks in my time. My freshman year, Jaden Daniels is our quarterback, and Sam's up there with all of them. I mean, that dude, and I haven't even seen him really like take off yet. I've just seen him throwing the ball, and that dude can spin it. He's putting the ball in the tightest window. So he's doing that quarterback stuff that we really like to see. Can he take LSU back to the college football playoff? Yeah, they can go on a run. They got a great roster, great dudes around him. For all of his faults, Lane Kiffin is an outstanding play caller and strategist. And Charlie Weiss is, I think, getting to be a little bit better at it than Lane Kiffin used to be. And then you got Blake Baker's defense, right? And you couple that with an offense that moves the ball, you ought to beat most of the people that you play. And in so doing, make the college football playoff. The question becomes, is Sam Levit a national championship quarterback? It's a difficult thing to say out loud, right? Because going into last season, I would have told you Fernando Mendoza was not a national championship quarterback. And based on his resume before Indiana, I think many people would have agreed with me. Proved to be wrong. Not only was he the quarterback to lead the team to the national championship, he's the Heisman Trophy winner. Sam Levit's got those tools. So I guess the answer is it's within reach for him in a way that it's not for some others. I also am cautious about going into new spaces, learning new people, learning new schematics, and how quickly you can get on the good foot, because say an opening loss to Clemson or a later loss to Ole Miss might actually put you up against the back, could put you on the back foot for making the college football playoff. And you might just as easily end up like Texas did last year. Not saying that is going to happen, but that's how important it is to get off to a fast start for Sam Levit at LSU. You tell me in the comments, do you think Sam Levit is the guy to lead LSU to the national championship?